Well, good afternoon again. Of course, I have been introduced to you, and I'm pleased to have you all participating in this forum with us today. Question: should President Trump have been more truthful and more timely, upfront, and straightforward with the American public regarding COVID-19, especially in view of the fact that he knew about this deadly virus in January 2020? Your views.
I support a 17-day plan of national cooperation, testing 75 million people in contact tracers so that we can drive down cases below 7,000 nationwide, reopen schools for our children, and reopen businesses. Thank you.
You said you support contact tracing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go over the facts. Okay. You said that 8 million people in the call to question have COVID-19?
What is it?
I'm so sorry. Will you just repeat that? Go over it again?
Tested, 8 million cases in the United States.
8 million false test positives. This is a patented virus that Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci have interest in. You can look it up. You can also check out the fact that on the CDC, people that have no other comorbidity, the people that have actually died from just COVID-19 itself is about 2,100 people. So these are pumped up numbers from a media that is controlled. They are corporations that do not have our best interest in mind. And you have to understand that a scared audience is a loyal audience. And if they came on the news and said, hey, look, everything is fine, we wouldn't tune in. We'd live, about our lives. We'd go walk the dog at the park. This is to scare us. And wearing the masks and this whole fear-mongering is to dehumanize us. It's scary.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. No, that's it.
Okay, so LaMail, since we on this subject, then I'm going to pose a question to you and we'll go down.
Okay.
To contain the coronavirus, should there be a national mandate to wear masks when in public spaces? Yes or no? John?
Yeah, your yes or no question. Yeah, yes. The answer is no. There should never be a nationwide mandate for face masks or anything like that.
All right. What is your position on the U.S. Supreme Court overturning the Affordable Health Care Act?
Yeah, I support repealing the Obamacare Act.
Any comments?
That's it. No, sir.
Okay. Have or will you today condemn white supremacy hate groups? Mr.
The
John?
question is what?
Will you condemn white supremacy?
I mean, of course, but white supremacy is not a problem in this country, sir. It is fluffed up by the federal, the FBI and CIA paying operatives to go out and incite fear. Just like with this whole, the governor of Michigan, Whitmer, she was found to be a dictator, a tyrant in her state, and the state Supreme Court overruled her decision, causing that state to be a lockdown. That was overturned. So immediately after that, to deflect attention from that, they had some operatives, some FBI operatives, go and stage some sort of kidnapping thing against her as some sort of pity party to deflect. I mean, it's a shame we have stuff like that happen.
I think we all can conclude that there are problems involving racial injustice and inequality in this nation. And my question to you, what recommendations do you have, and I'll start with you, Mr. Winthrop, is in terms of eliminating the problem of racial injustice and racial inequality? Since you'll be in the Senate or in Congress, what are some of your recommendations to deal with this problem?
Yeah, so news reform that only keeps one certain narrative alive. You're only allowed to hear some sort of thing like black people being hurt. There's no, if someone that was white was shot by a black cop, that's not announced at all, News reform, is the first way to start all of this, and to hold the news accountable and to have them publish every story, not things that favor their narrative, you know?
Okay.
Thank you.
This question goes primarily to Mr. John
Yeah.
and to Windsor. This one deals with the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court and the rush by Republicans to quickly confirm her nomination that sparked and launched a high-pitched battle among groups. Do you support the nomination? If yes, why?
Yeah. No, I do not support her nomination. I do want to say one thing before I continue. They tried to hold on to Ruth Bader Ginsburg as long as they could. That way the Republicans wouldn't be able to have ample time to put someone in that they prefer. But I do think that the Republicans are bamboozled by her, and I will say several things about that. One, the Koch brothers, one of the biggest industries we have, they do not support Donald Trump. However, they do fund Amy Coney Barrett. So I think that's they need to look into that. That's a conflict of interest. Also, I support, and they should have supported, as in they as the Republican Party, Judge Barbara Lagoa out of Florida. She knows the hardships of actually escaping communism, and she escaped a communist country and came over here. She is in touch. Everyone should look into Barbara Lagoa. She should definitely be the nominee. And I will conclude with the fact that Judge Amy Coney Barrett is a lockdown judge. She has cited Jacobson. Look into that. That's a horrible a horrible decision to cite. And she has a track record of supporting lockdowns. Barbara Lagoa does not, and she is a constitutionalist and wants to keep this country open and free. Thank you.
It's factual that President Trump has appointed more federal judges than any other president than President Jimmy Carter in the 4 years that he's been in office. Of that number, I think a total of 198 federal judges, young, aggressive, conservative judges. Not one was an African American. What are your views? How do you think the federal court, your views about the federal court, since these judges are appointed for life? The only way they can be removed from office is either through death, through resigning, or through impeachment. But how do you see the court, the structure of the court? Should the court be all appointees should be other race other than African Americans? I'll start with you.
Oh, you're starting. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay, so we're gonna go back and forth. I need to know where you're getting that information from. I need to look into that. So my comment, my question as of now is no comment. I need to look further into that, sir.
No comments in
No
regard
comment.
to
Yes,
whether or
sir.
not African Americans should be appointed to the
I
federal bench?
want to look into if it's actually factual from where I get my news, where Donald Trump all is nominated. Because for him to only want to nominate Caucasian people, I think is that's hard for me to believe. So at the root of your question, I want to dive into that. So I will answer that at a later time.
Okay, I think that's something, that's fair.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
In fact, I have two questions. The first one is, are you supportive of the president's claim that there will be widespread voter fraud in the upcoming election? That's a claim that's being made, that there will be widespread and that we may not know the outcome of the election until days or weeks or months. What are your views?
Yes, I completely support that claim. And also, the reason why he says this is because big tech is so involved. Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg, and also the founders of Google, Sergey Brin and Lori Page, were less than enthused about Donald Trump becoming president, and have taken many steps to suppress and to shadow ban many conservative and Republican or any account that doesn't go with this mainstream narrative that they support. So I can guarantee you this, I will go on a limb and say we will not have a clear understanding of who is president on November 3rd or for quite some time by design. Now, I will also point to the fact that Nancy Pelosi has alluded to the fact that she will take the reins, if you will. I am putting words in her mouth, but in so many words, she said that she will try. What's going on is, let me back up, is the Democratic Party is trying to push us into 20th and 25th Amendment territory. So it's so convoluted that we don't have any sort of clear winner, that the House of Representatives can then vote on who's president. So it's very worrisome. There are tons of reports of mail-in ballots that have been thrown in ditches and not held accountable. There have been recent documentaries about Ilhan Omar threatening people to vote for her and having some of her, I would say, I'll venture to say, minions or people that are a part of this collusion, if you will, to harvest ballots from people that get them in the mail and then are filled out themselves by the people with Ilhan Omar's interest. So yes, voter fraud is very scary, and I'm very worried to see an actual authentic outcome on the 3rd of November.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Stimulus package. I think it's before the House right now at about, what, 1.6 trillion? And it seems to be there's a holdout by the House in terms of sending that bill forth. What's your views on that?
No,
Mr. John?
I'm not for any sort of bailouts. We cannot be a nation that lives bailout to bailout. That causes hyperinflation. And also too, we need to, on the same token, we need to take back the Federal Reserve, which is not federal at all and privately owned, and lends money to this country at interest each year. And another reason, I'll conclude with this, one of the reasons JFK was assassinated, who I love to death, was because he was going to enact Executive Order 11110, which would take back the Federal Reserve and make the dollar silver-backed. Please look into that act, Executive Order. There's 4 1s and then a 0, 11110. Thank you.
Closing remarks, starting Mr. LaMelle and Mr. John.
Closing remarks would be TheXanJohn, number 6 on the ballot. I am the antidote. Thank you.
I want to thank you all for coming today, sharing with us. Certainly, I believe that your output here today has been helpful to us, and that will help us to make a very important decision. God bless you all. And I want to thank all of those candidates who have been. Let's give all of the candidates who were here.